Today, at 2:20 p.m., our nation suffered a tragic air accident in Sindar area, Keben location, 3rd Division in Elgeyo Marakwet County. I am deeply saddened to announce the passing on of General Francis Omondi Ogolla, the Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces.
The entire nation was plunged into a state of despair and sorrow following the announcement that confirmed the devastating news of the military chopper crash in the Sindar area, Kaben location, 3rd Division in Elgeyo Marakwet County. The citizens had been on the edge, anxious and filled with uncertainty about the fate of the occupants of the ill-fated chopper. The news that the worst had indeed occurred was a crushing blow to the nation. The incident has left an indelible mark of sadness and loss on the hearts of the people. On Friday morning, the newspapers were filled with news of a tragic plane crash that claimed the life of Francis Omondi Ogolla, the chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, and 9 other servicemen. This unfortunate incident serves as a harsh reminder of how sudden and cruel death can be. An urgent National Security Council meeting that was convened by President William Ruto on Thursday evening at State House, Nairobi, following a Kenya Defense Forces helicopter crash that afternoon in Elgeyo Marakwet County, was briefed with every pointer indicating that the path to getting survivors was getting slimmer and thinner. The crash killed 10 of the 12 occupants. Chief of Defense Forces on board the Kenya Air Force Huey helicopter had left Nairobi that Thursday morning to visit troops deployed in the North Rift under Operation Maliza Uhalifu and to inspect the ongoing school renovation works at Chesitet Primary School, Cheptulel Boys High School, Chepoton Primary School, Ksa Primary School, and Sablimoi Primary School.
You have my confidence. You have the confidence of the government of Kenya to discharge your responsibilities in your new office.
As part of his working tour, the Chief of Defense Forces had been briefed on the security situation by multi-agency teams stationed at Chesitet in Baringo County, after which he proceeded to the Kainuk Forward Operating Base in Turkana County, where he addressed troops, commending them for their resilience and operational successes. The Chief of Defense Forces and his entourage departed from Kainuk to Chesegon, West Pokot County, where he launched the rehabilitation of Cheptulel Boys High School. He then departed to Chesegon for the Recruits Training School in Uasin Gishu County, where he was scheduled to inspect construction facilities at the institution. Unfortunately, this did not happen. The aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff, killing 10 of the 12 occupants.
Together with him in the crash were 11 other gallant military personnel, 9 who also passed on with him, and 2 survivors. The gallant military personnel who passed on with General Ogolla are Brigadier Swale Saidi, Colonel Duncan Keitany, Lieutenant Colonel David Sawe, Major George Benson Magondu, who was also the pilot, Captain Sora Mohammed, Captain Hilary Litali, Senior Sergeant John Kinywa Mureithi, Sergeant Cliffons Omondi, and Sergeant Rose Nyawira.
According to the President's address, 2 soldiers survived the tragic accident. However, only one survivor, Frankfurt Karanja Mogire, is the only one that the public knows about by the time of going on air. Mr. Mogire, a professional KDF photographer and videographer, jumped in mid-air to save his life. According to residents, they could have rescued many, but within minutes, there was a huge fireball that limited access.
Jana tulikuwa hapa hiki, ilikuwa saa kama hii tulianza kazi. Karibu saa 4 hiyo madege ikakuja hivi. Ikakuja hivi, ikalan hapa hivi, shule yetu Chipulel Boys. Tukafanya kazi yetu kwa shamba, karibu saa 8 na dakika 16. Tukakuja kiti hapa hivi, na ni lunch. Tunakula lunch. Wakati tunakula lunch, baada tutakula, ndege ikakuja tu hivi. Tuliangalia ilikuwa propeller isunguki. Wengine wanasema shuka hapo, inashuka hapo. Wakati inafika inashuka, kumbe ni kuanguka tu, ikakuja hivi tu straight. Ikaanguka ikalala hapo chini. Sasa sisi tukaamua tukimbia tukokoe watu. Tukaenda furuta mahali kuna moto kubwa, tukasukuma, huko inalipuka pum. Tukang'ang'ana mpaka tukatoa watu wote, tukapanga jini. Mpaka mandege ya jeshi ikakuja sasa, akatupata pale, tumeokoa hiyo watu. Mwisho mambo ilifanyika hapa. Sasa tukasukuma hiyo vitu, ndio sasa tukatoa watu wote. Wengine wanakuja na mapanga, wanakata makamba, ndio tukapanga hiyo watu nyuma hiyo nini hiyo ndege. Huko sasa kuna mwandishi mmoja alikuwa na akasema mnisaidie sameni, tukaokoa hiyo. Alikuwa anasimama. Alafu askari mmoja alikuwa anasimama pia. Tukapeleka hiyo, wenye walikuwa ako wife tukampeleka kwa ndege. Sasa tukang'ang'ana hiyo watu, jeshi walikuja, vile walishuka tu wakatupua, wakatuambia toka, kila mtu enda. Tukaenda hiyo, ndio tuling'ang'ana pale. Hata nguo yangu imeungua huko nyumbani. Hiyo moto ni kubwa.
Lots of questions, however, need to be answered. What happened that made Frankfurt Karanja Mogire jump from the helicopter? How come the other passengers did not? How safe is Mogire after surviving the accident? To honor the lives and the distinguished military career of the fallen general while in office, the president announced that the nation will observe 3 days of mourning commencing Friday, April 19th. During this time of national mourning, the Kenyan flag, the Kenya Defence Forces flag, and the East African Community flag shall fly at half-mast in the Republic of Kenya and the Kenya missions abroad. Reactions, however, by Kinjekitile and other ex-users raises more questions about the Vietnam-era Huey helicopter.
UH-1N Huey, the iconic helicopter that defies time. The deafening roar of rotor blades fills the air as Huey's UH-1N helicopter slices through the sky with unparalleled grace and power. The UH-1N Huey is a medium-sized twin-engine utility helicopter that was developed by Bell Helicopter for the United States military. It's a variant of the iconic UH-1 Iroquois helicopter, commonly known as the Huey, which gained fame during the Vietnam War. The UH-1N entered the U.S. military inventory in 1970 to provide search and rescue test awards. The mission's UH-1N Huey helicopter is powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney T400CP400 turboshaft engines mounted side by side, driving a shared gearbox and a single output shaft. These powerful engines have the capability to produce up to 1,800 shaft horsepower. In the event of a single power section failure, the remaining section can deliver 900 shaft horsepower for up to 30 minutes, enabling the UH-1N to maintain its cruise performance even at maximum weight. Moreover, the helicopter is capable of operating under instrument flight rules and during nighttime conditions, further enhancing its operational versatility. The UH-1N is often flown with a 4-person crew, comprising a pilot, co-pilots, a crew chief, and a gunner. While in the air, the gunner and crew chief man the weapons, while one pilot functions as a navigator and the other actively flies. When configured for passengers, the UH-1N can seat up to 13 people. In practice, it's rare for the UH-1N to carry this many individuals unless it's also carrying limited fuel and equipment due to weight limitations and weather conditions. The UH-1N Huey helicopter has undergone various variants throughout its service history. Here are some notable variants. CH-135 Twin Huey. This is the Canadian version of the UH-1N. These helicopters were eventually retired from Canadian Forces service, with their removal from active duty commencing in 1996 and being officially struck off strength in December 1999. UH-1N Iroquois. This is the initial production model of the UH-1N and has been used by the United States military. VH-1N. This variant's configured for VIP transport, specifically catering to the transportation of high-ranking officials and dignitaries. HH-1N. The HH-1N variant is designed for search and rescue operations, equipped with specialized equipment and systems to support and facilitate search and rescue missions. UH-1Y Venom. The UH-1Y Venom is a replacement and upgrade of the UH-1N, developed as part of the H-1 upgrade program for the Marine Corps. It features common engines and major systems with the AH-1Z Viper attack helicopter, offering improved capabilities and performance. Augusta Bell A212. This variant is a civilian or military utility transport version of the UH-1N built under license in Italy by Augusta. Augusta Bell AB212EW. The AB212EW variant is an electronic warfare version developed for Turkey, incorporating specialized equipment and systems for electronic warfare operations. Augusta Bell AB212ASW. The AB212ASW is an anti-submarine warfare and anti-shipping variant of the AB212 helicopter. It features a prominent radome above the cockpit and is equipped with a Bendix ASQ-18 sonar for submarine detection. The end of the UH-1N's legendary journey. Bell began delivering 205 UH-1N helicopters to the U.S. military in 1971. Over the course of more than 40 years, the UH-1N has been used in various operations in Vietnam, Grenada, the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The UH-1N platform, which was flown by the U.S. Marine Corps, has now been replaced by the new UH-1Y Venom platform. The UH-1Y Venom offers significant improvements over its predecessor in terms of range, airspeed, payload, survivability, and lethality. In 1996, the Marine Corps initiated the H-1 upgrade program and signed a contract with Bell Helicopter to upgrade 100 UH-1Ns into UH-1Ys. The most notable improvement was the increase in engine power. By replacing the engines and the two-bladed rotor system with a four-bladed one, the Y model restored the Huey to its original utility role. Initially, the plan was to remanufacture UH-1Ys from UH-1N airframes, but in April 2005, approval was granted to build them as new helicopters. The UH-1N was officially retired during a sundown ceremony at Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base New Orleans on August 28, 2014. According to the AF.mil fact sheets, the U.S. Air Force operated 59 UH-1N Huey helicopters. Since most of these helicopters were purchased in 1969, the U.S. Air Force had been seeking a replacement. On September 24, 2018, the Air Force announced that the MH-139 variant of the AW-139 was selected as the winner, surpassing competitors such as the HH-60U Blackhawk and the upgraded UH-60L Forcehawk. Air Force's UH-1N Huey replacement. The MH-139A was designed to be a direct replacement to the Air Force's aging fleet of UH-1N Huey, one of the oldest helicopters in the Air Force's inventory with an average age exceeding 50 years. The Grey Wolf provides the ability to cruise 50% faster and farther than the Huey, while also having a 30% larger cabin and capability to lift 5,000 pounds more. The MH-139A is based on the Leonardo AW-139, a commercially available and proven helicopter. The craft is outfitted with additional capabilities, including military communication capabilities, navigation, and enhanced survivability features, including an armored cockpit and cabin, a missile warning and countermeasure system, two mounted M240s, and bolstered self-sealing fuel cells. The Grey Wolf was designed to accomplish a 3-hour flight time while cruising at 135 knots without the need for refueling. It's also capable of carrying 9 personnel with necessary combat and security response equipment. In the interest of quality of life features, the MH-139A is equipped with full autopilot capability, as well as cutting-edge avionics that enhance situational awareness, reducing both pilot and crew workload. Because the MH-139A is based on the commercial AW-139, there's a wide availability of rotorcraft parts and previously established support systems. This redundancy leads to overall lower operating costs and increased reliability and maintainability, resulting in more than $1 billion in Air Force savings across the life of the helicopter. Additionally, the flight training transition is eased due to previously existing AW-139 flight trainers. The Grey Wolf helicopter was selected for the U.S. Air Force's $2.4 billion UH-1N Huey replacement program in September 2018.
Why then are we having cases with Huey helicopters? Since 2012, a shocking 12 aircrafts belonging to Kenya Air Force and another 5 to the National Police Air Wing have crashed. It is high time we demand a thorough review of the airworthiness of the Kenya state-owned aircraft. Furthermore, the procurement of these aircrafts, their maintenance, and their operation must be put under scrutiny.
But it must concern this country. It concerns me this moment. We must be buying quality equipment, quality aircraft, if possible new. The same way, for example, we take care of mobility needs of our executive, the president, etc. Then we must also procure new choppers, etc. for our military. But I also want...
With the proper procurement, maintenance and operations, we would have avoided the fatalities unless the cause was different. Why different? First, because the gallant servicemen were in operation in the bandit-infested North Rift region. Was there an attack from the bandits
He's
in the
confirmed
region?
that the government has done everything possible, yet the situation in the wild north, if I can call it so, has claimed its most prized victim, the Chief of Defense Forces. I wish he was a little serious about the sentiment he's making, because if enough was being done, I doubt that the Chief of Defense Forces would have needed to be on the ground to ensure that school infrastructure is being done. Remember, it's been done by the military because there's no other easier way to do it.
Secondly, were there changes in the operations that led to swapping the choppers from what the team was to use?
The decision to bury the Chief of the Defense Force on Sunday, the 21st of April, just 3 days after he met his death through Thursday's chopper crash, though reported to be General Ogola's wish, compounds the many questions on the circumstances surrounding the accident. It was expected claims that the general and his entourage were to use a different aircraft, which was abruptly swapped in the last minute so as to transport a senior government official.
General Ogolla was a man of rigorous training and relentless pursuits of excellence who rubbed shoulders with those in power. In his first media invite, the president had this to say about the fallen general.
I appointed General Ogolla. General Ogolla is among the people who went to bomb us to try and overturn my victory. Do you know that?
Trained as a fighter pilot with the U.S. Air Force and as an instructor pilot at the Kenya Air Force, he delved into various disciplines from imagery intelligence to counter-terrorism and accident investigation. Ascending through the ranks with distinction, he reached the esteemed position of Major General and assumed command as the commander of the Kenya Air Force on July 15, 2018, a role he dutifully fulfilled for 3 years. Amidst his professional achievements, General Ogolla cherished his family, finding solace and joy to the company of his wife Eileen, their 2 children, and a beloved grandson.
Demystifying General Francis Ogolla, other than the serious military man we see, the chief of Kenya's defense forces, what does General Francis Ogolla do when he's not issuing commands?
Well, you know, as a person, first of all, I like to read. I like to read, and I used to love golf. But the day I was appointed the Chief of Defense Forces, I more or less kept my golf clubs aside, and I said, let me focus on this job wholeheartedly. I ran with soldiers twice a week, you know, just to keep fit, and I like to be sometimes alone to reflect, you know. If I can get 2-3 hours a day to be by myself, I like that. I enjoy it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Charles Mureu Kahariri.
Worth noting that on March 8, 2024, President William Ruto made various appointments and promotions within the military. Among those promoted was Major General Charles Mureu Kahariri, who ascended to the rank of Lieutenant General and is now serving as the new Vice Chief of Defense Forces. Kahariri replaced Lieutenant General Jonah Mwangi Maina, who retired from the service after serving for 42 years. The head of state also promoted Major General David Kimaiyo Tarus to the rank of Lieutenant General, whilst appointing him the new commander of the Kenya Army.
Looking at our history, he becomes actually the first CDF to lose his life in the line of duty, right from Ndolo to Mulinge to General Mahmoud, to General Tonje to Kibwana, General Kianga, General Karangi, General Mwasese, and General Kibochi, with whom we served with him. General Ogolla becomes the first general actually to lose his life in the line of duty. Apart from Linge, and the rest are still with us. And
a shooting man, and I wanna be a shooting man. I said I wanna be a shooting man, and I wanna be a shooting.
As the fallen soldiers are laid to rest, the country is asking a lot of questions, and the answers must be provided expeditiously. How many helicopters should a CDF use while visiting an operation area? Why was the whole Chief of Defense Forces using one helicopter with no 50 ACB helicopter escort in an operation area? Why was he in the company of junior officers only?
And then, just like yesterday, His Excellency the President said that investigations have commenced pronto on this matter. These reports have, of course, most of the time have never been brought to the fore for the general public to consume. But to what extent has the government benefited and taken action after such kind of reports of inquiry? And
when I leave, let Kenyans judge me. But I want to leave an effective military, respected world over, and will be able to deliver on its mission wherever, whenever. Yeah.
As we wrap it up, we leave you with a viral piece from the People Daily published on October 17, 2022, and the reactions from different leaders to the sudden demise the 10 gallant soldiers.